I told you, fear is the principal weapon of fascists. Make people afraid. What they absolutely know is that if you make 100 people afraid, 80 of them will bow down and do whatever you want. This is an absolute human instinct. And here comes Don Jr. warning people who won't stand up with his father and him. He was on Charlie Kirk's show yesterday. He said, if you sold out, you bought into the narrative. If you said, oh, my God, it's worse than Pearl Harbor, you know, he's talking about January 6th. It's worse than Pearl Harbor, you know, and 9/11 combined on January 7th. That's the new day one. He said, now you got 4 years where we know what we're doing, where we have a chance to start from scratch with people who we know are absolute warriors for the movement. And now you're stuck with that for 4 years. Now, as Billy Madison would say, you're all in big, big trouble. I don't know. I get it. I get it. You know, years ago, I just posted this on Blue Sky. This was at least 10 years ago. I was being interviewed by one of the larger conservative online publications, one that is sponsored by a billionaire whose name you would recognize. And the editor-in-chief said to me, you know, if you were simply to become a conservative, I could pretty much guarantee you at least $1 million a year salary. You know, the Heritage Foundation was at that time giving Rush Limbaugh $2 million a year and giving Sean Hannity $1 million a year, according to press reports. And he also pointed out I'd get a much larger radio audience. I mean, you know, I'd immediately go on, you know, hundreds and hundreds of stations. He says, you know, you're a really talented guy. You know what you're doing. You know how to do radio. You know how to, you know how to write. I mean, you know, you've got the stuff here. You could be a millionaire very quickly. And I said, thank you very much, but, you know, what was Popeye's old saying? I am what I am. But, you know, this is going to be that time, that moment. I mean, we just, like I said, we had to turn off Morning Joe this morning because it was so anodyne. It was so pablum. You know, when you decide to bow down to the wannabe dictator, when you decide to obey in advance with the fascists, you lose your soul.